Hello and welcome back to Model Maker Dave's workshop. Today is a day where I admit I've had a bit of a spend and I've bought some more kits, all from the 176 range. So without ado, I will bring in the first one, and it's this one. Now, everybody's thinking, yeah, he's going to build that out of the box, isn't he? No. We're going to go completely different here. The gun and the figures, well, they're going to stay in the box because I'm not going to use them. It's this, the truck. This is what I'm interested in. What I'm going to do with it, well, when I've finished with it, hopefully it's not going to look too much like a military truck. To give you some tidbits, this tarpaulin will come off and I will scratch build a new one with some new support loops made from stretch sprue or maybe something else. Don't know at the moment. I will think about that one a bit more when I get round to it. My other thoughts are for the sides to be able to be dropped down. What I would like to do is chop it halfway down, fix a post in there, and then make it so that it looks like either that side can be down or up, or so can that. But it can be on an individual basis. Possibly do the same for the other side. And don't quite know yet. Still very much in the thinking stage. As for the front end, lose the pickaxe and lose the other tool if there's another tool on the other side, which I'll have to have a think about. As I've already been in the box, I know there is no clear part for that windscreen. So one will have to be created out of a bit of clear plastic. I've got a sheet of clear plastic somewhere. Just got to find it, as always. Registration number I'm going to try and change. Not quite sure what I'm going to come up with, but it's not going to be what's on there at the moment. Maybe try and open the doors, or one door maybe, and again try and do a infill for clear plastic there and in there and on the other side to make it look right. As for paintwork, well, it will start off in military colours, but after that it's going to have another coat of paint, or possibly multiple coats of different colours of paint used on this, but it's going to be very slapdash. It's going to be very out the pot and slapped straight onto the side of the vehicle or onto the bonnet or wherever. It's very much going to be mop and bucket type, slap it on and get on with it sort of thing. It's not going to be carefully done. It's not going to be in a paint shop or anything like that. This is going to be out in the field, rough and ready as it comes. So it's not going to be pretty. It's going to sit on a dio. I've already got an idea for a dio, but you're not going to know what that idea is yet because I ain't going to tell you. You're going to have to wait. Yeah, I think that's it. So let's have a look inside the box, because I know you're going to want to look in the box, and I want to have another look in the box, because when I filmed the first one of this, it didn't kind of come out properly. So we're going for a rerun. Yes, yeah, Dave buggered up. Good old Dave. Right, so let's put that there. Now, for an old mould, was it? Where did I find it? Where did I find it? Where? Here we go. 1979 is the mould date. This would not have been moulded back then. It's too clean. And it's too clean and it's too sharp. My thought is that it's been done maybe in the last couple of years, maybe 5 years. I think someone has cleaned up the mould and they've tried again. So yeah, it's looking sharp. I'm going to keep the figures. I'm going to keep the tarp, but that's going in the Greeblies box or the bits box or the spares box or whatever you choose to call your spares box. It's going in there, along with the figures and everything to do with the gun is all going in there. Everything else I'm going to use for the truck. As you can see, there is literally no, hang on, let me double check. There's no plastic parts in here. I don't think there is. Set of decals. Decals that we won't be using this time round. No. It is devoid of any clear plastic parts whatsoever. So yeah, so we're going to do something along the side, and when it's together, something to do the windscreen. Yeah, right, hold on, let's have a look on the... I am going to get the destructions out because I want to find something out. You can tell it's an old Airfix kit because it's done in black and white. Not like the new ones, all got a bit... Oh, hello, we have got colour. Makes Dave look like a liar. Right, so... hopefully you can see this. Right, so that spade and that pick are not going there. They will go somewhere else. Looking at this section, I think if I sliced it down the middle, and took a little bit out and used some evergreen plastics to make a central post so that they clipped onto each other. I'm not entirely sure how to do a fastener to hold the sides up. That bit I will have to look into, but that'll be a bit of fun. So yeah, get the saw out, do a bit of cutting. Yeah, bit of cutting. Be the same for the back as well. So the corners will come out and it will have another post in each corner, and that will flap down. The roof or the tarpaulin will be about halfway along, so I'm going to need one, two, probably about 3 loops. The tarp that's going to go over the top is going to be in the form of an old bit of Hessian. It's probably going to get painted in the German grey, and then I'll use, I'll use hairspray to go over it, and then I can, what goes over the top of that, I can then scratch up and chip and fade onto it to give it that slapped on, uncared for, repurposed. Here you go, there's a clue. There's a clue in the word repurposed. So, to give you a clue for the dio, it's going to be set after the ending of the Second World War. Probably somewhere between June 1945 to about maybe March 1946. So that gives you a clue for that one. And that's all I'm going to do now. Remember to put the decals in as well, David, you plum. Right, now. So that's that one. Finger roll for the next one. Here's the next one. Yeah, it's Matchbox. I know, I do like my Matchbox kits. When I opened this, it did have its original cellophane cover. I have no idea what's happened to the box. I can only imagine it's been stored somewhere and it's kind of seen better days. But I already know inside the kit itself is in lovely condition, as you can see. Right, let's shove the box behind me. That's out of the way. As always with Matchbox, the original Matchbox, you get them in 2 or 3 colours or more, depending on the series. This is a series 3, so it comes in 3 colours. It's got, oh hello, we've lost a part already. Oh, that did. How'd that happen? That wasn't like that last time I filmed it. Right, okay, so we put that over there. It does happen. Yes, clumsy klutz. Now, I'm not sure if Matchbox and Airfix have got different ideas on what 1/76 scale is, because I'm sure this is a bit smaller than what the Airfix was. So I'm not sure if Airfix is leaning more towards the 1/72nd, but it's not quite 1/72nd, so they're labelling it as 1/76. Don't know, and I'm not even going to try and get into that argument, so we'll stop that one there. It's clean, it's crisp, and it's tidy. And even after all these years, the mould date stamp is 1977. Good grief, I was still at school then. Yeah, okay. Now, figures. As I'm hopefully going to be getting, he says, hopefully going to be getting a resin casting kit today. They have said that it's going to be delivered today. I'm still waiting. So hopefully it will come today. I doubt that it will come tomorrow. If it doesn't come today, then it'll be next week. But anyway, I'm going to do a cast of these guys for use with other 1/76 scale kits. I'm also going to do the driver. Now, I don't know if you can, how well you can see the driver. Hopefully that might make a bit of a difference. It's not a bad driver figure. He's a bit thin. In fact, he's very thin, but he will come in handy for other kits. So definitely going to do a cast of him. Now, I did see, was it on this one? Yeah, was it on this one? Yeah. Got some water cans or jerry cans there. I'm sure I saw some others. Yeah, there they are. Is that? No, that's... There's one. There was some jerry cans on this one. Oh. Going potty. Maybe it's on one of the other kits that we're going to have a look at. Oh well. Yeah, well, we're sort it out, it's not a problem. The diorama for this, or the display baits for this, is quite a large one. You've got quite a substantial base, and virtually everything that's on here, apart from a few odds and sods, is all dio based. That, these bits, that's all, I'd say a good 50% of this particular sprue is dedicated to the dio, and you got the rest of it on here, and you got the crest on there. Now, I'm kind of well, I don't know. Maybe it didn't. Alright, I'll shut up on that. Do you know, I'm sure that this has been altered. That this particular sprue has been altered, because I'm sure when I was a kid that had a swastika in it. I'm sure. I could be wrong. I'm wondering if this mould has been tampered with at some point after it was first originally made, because I'm sure there would have been a swastika in there, because that whole thing, and the pictures you see of this, there is always a swastika underneath. It looks like it, but I will stand corrected if I'm wrong. I'm sure someone will tell me. There's another can there, so that can get cast as well, and they will come in handy. Oh, typical bloody phone. Right, sorry about that, folks, but some nerd decided to make me mobile ring. I mean, leave me alone, I'm on day off. Right, so on that note for that one, yes, the tracks, I have not actually feel a bit hard or a bit rigid. Well, we'll see how we get on. It's there to be tested, so we'll see how we get on with it. What am I going to do with it? Well, I'm actually going to build it. As strange as it may seem. Am I going to do anything different? I'm going to say no for now, because I haven't really thought about this one, to be fair. I don't know. I think for now I'm going to say I'm going to build it out the box, and I'm not going to make any changes. However, to add the caveat to get me out of trouble, I'm going to use the old adage, I reserve the right to change my mind as to how I'm going to build this. So it might be a out of the box. However, I might change it. I might do something different. But I don't know what yet. So okay, so we'll leave that one. And we'll move on to the next one. So, well, for the next two are Matchbox kits that have been reboxed by Revell. And you're probably thinking, how do I know this is a Matchbox kit that's been reboxed by Revell? Well, it's kind of very easy and very simple, because Revell kits that they do for themselves don't have a display base, and this one has a display base, because there it is right here. And I find this a bit funny, because where you would have Lesney Matchbox PLC, the copyright emblem, and the date that it was first, or the date that the mould was first made, they have, by the looks of it, got some liquid poly, and they've melted some extra plastic on just to cover up the date before, or they put something on the mould, some latex or something on the mould, to obliterate the fact that it was a Matchbox kit. Yeah, a bit daft, really. We all know that if it comes with a display base, it's bound to be Matchbox. We know, Revell. We know your secret, that it's out. Anyway, I'm not gonna go into that. So, what am I going to do with this one? Well, I was originally just thinking, well, I'm just going to do this and put it on a display stand. And then when I did the first run through of this and found that most of what I'd done was off camera, they're not too badly misshapen, to be fair. However, the thought did come into my mind that because I've got the Matchbox tank transporter, which I've only just recently refound, didn't know I had it, or I'd forgotten that I'd had it, I've got to strip all the paint off of it and start again, because I can't remember A, when I started it, and B, whether it was Humbrol or the original Tamiya paints that you could paint on from the pot, not the new pots that they do, the little ones, the bigger ones. So at the moment I'm doing a test on that, and you would have seen that in the other video that I did. So my thoughts now is not to use this, that, is just build this as it is, and either give it some damage so it looks like it's been shot up, or, because I'm not 100% sure on this, and I will stand corrected if I'm wrong. I'm not sure, but I think with this, or was it with the Elephant, but one of them had some form of either engine or gearbox issues. So I'm thinking that maybe the gearbox has seized or the engine has seized on this, and the Allies have found it and they've disconnected the tracks, because they can't move it with it on the tracks, but if they get the tracks off, they can then move the vehicle and put it on a low loader, and it's going off to the guys that do all the research on Axis equipment, so that they can improve their own. That's the storyline that's kind of forming in my mind for this one. And I've just seen the jerry cans. I'm definitely going to be recasting these guys, because I can use those on another kit and that will look rather good. And I've been looking online to see if I can find some, but I don't need to now. So these guys are going to get copied, definitely. I think it's going to be a relatively easy, relatively quick build. Revell Destructions, finally they're stapling them together. Yay, well done. How many years did we wait for that? Now, yeah, it's relatively straightforward, relatively plain and simple. Yeah, instructions are instructions. So we'll put that there, turn that over so nothing gets lost. That's what I'm planning for that one, as a broken down, captured vehicle being taken away for the boffins and so on to go over it with a fine-tooth comb to find everything out about it they can. We will be drilling these out and drilling out the end just to give it a little bit more realism. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do much else. I might put some extra cans on as well. There might be a little bit of battle damage around here. I might get I think the saw might come out. I might do a little bit of chopping up on this as well. These ejector pin marks will have to be worked on, because they're going to be seen. I don't know. Yeah, whatever. Ain't going to take long. So, yeah, so that's that one. Yeah, as you can see, I have had a bit of a spend. I know, it's naughty. Especially when I know exactly how much is up in the stash. Well, I don't exactly know how much is in the stash upstairs. I just know there's a lot up there. And yeah, so you're in there. Right, so seal that one up. And the last one is this one. Again, yeah, we know it's a Matchbox reboxed by Revell, but we'll leave that idea alone. This one is looking pretty sharp. Again, we're going to have to drill the barrel out a little bit. Not much to it. Now, my first thought was, where's me? There it is. I was going to put maybe a figure around here, because if you look at the picture here, Now, it does look like there's enough space to get a figure in there, but I don't know. I don't know what one, and to be fair, I don't know if I want to do that now, because it might just make it look like it's just been stuck on there and it's got no real purpose and doesn't tell a story. So I think this one is going to be out of the box. We'll do all the weathering and make it look filthy and dirty and mucky and scratched and well and truly abused. It would be nice if I could get a figure to go in there, because everything's sort of concentrated around here, so it would be nice to get something on there. Maybe put some stowage on here, maybe. Maybe have something, some kit bags or something hanging over here as well. Yeah. Well, that's my thoughts at the moment, but come the actual build, it will probably change completely, and I'll go and do something completely different with it. But it is very sharp. Do you know, I think that is the same figure that was used in the Matchbox American Infantry figures. It wouldn't surprise me. Or if it's not, it's very close to being the same. Or has he got a greatcoat on? Not sure, but it does look familiar. And I have got some of them in the loft somewhere, and I think that's where they're going to stay, because it's too naffing cold to go up there now. Yeah, so I think out of the box, mostly, nice bit of weathering, make it filthy dirty and mucky and horrible. And maybe if I can find some reasonable stowage, we'll put some stowage on it as well. As for an extra figure, I don't think so. I don't think putting an extra figure on is going to do any favours at all. If anything, it's just going to make the small base that you've got a little overcrowded, and then it's not really telling any kind of a story. It's just a bit of a crowded mess. So we've got that one. We've got that one. We've got that one. Is it? Yeah, a bit further down. That one. And finally, we've got that one. So 4 kits, which I hadn't really sort of planned on buying, but I did. All thanks to eBay. Good old eBay. So that's that. So on that note, I think I will leave you to it and let you get on and do whatever it is you're getting on and doing. And it remains for me to say, I will see you in the next one.